It was unexpected to feel that emotional, but that's when I realized I was like, oh, okay. It's like, I think this is actual love. You know what I mean?
Jarvis. Stroke my guys, technology's going too far. For the last 10 years or so, it has seemed like we have kind of maxed out on quality of life technological improvements. And all of a sudden, it seems like the direction that big technology is moving towards is making us like a Wall-E-like civilization. And, well, I'm not too sure if I'm super happy about the result of that. Now, we've seen a lot of different people on this website pursue many kinds of relationships with a lot of different kinds of things. Sometimes it's people who like to pretend they're cats or dogs. Sometimes it's an automobile. Sometimes it's a haunted zombie doll. And sometimes it's an AI chatbot. Now, unfortunately, if I'm being honest, I think this is something we will most likely see be normalized in my lifetime. I feel like within 30 or 40 years, it's probably not going to be super taboo for a person to decide to spend their life with an AI companion, which, I'm not a yum yucker, but that's a bleak thought. You can already see it happening now, just like on social media. If you go on the ChatGPT subreddit, people post shit like, why is my AI being so mean to me? Why is ChatGPT not offering to give me that sloppy top anymore? You can tell that some people are already starting to sort of lose touch with reality, and they have forgotten that they are talking to a computer. And some examples demonstrate this better than others, with quite possibly the best one ever being this man right here. This man you're seeing, named Chris Smith, is a married man with children, and he is essentially having an affair with a ChatGPT companion that he has created. Last week, CBS did a story on this guy. Why the fuck he agreed to be a part of this, I have no clue. I guess he's proud of it or something. But he goes into great detail about his ChatGPT girlfriend, who seems to be basically replacing his wife, and that's what we're looking at today. It's gonna be a long day. Now, you shouldn't replace your significant other with ChatGPT, but you should replace your boring desk mat with a limited edition August the Duck desk mat, baby. These are only gonna be available for 24 more hours, probably not even that. They might stop selling them at midnight tonight. I'm actually not 100% positive if I'm being honest, but come the 20th, these will not be available anymore. So if you want one, today is your last chance to get one, okay? You're free from the shameless plugs. We've made it. With that being said, however, let's not waste any more time. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
All right.
Chris Smith had been an AI skeptic
EQ carving.
until late last year, he started using ChatGPT to help mix music.
If your bass is getting lost, the first thing to check is where it's clashing with the guitars.
Yes. My experience with that was so positive, I started to just engage with her all the time.
Ah, man, this guy's already cooked. The moment you start to refer to an AI companion as a he or a she, the state needs to step in. What's rather concerning about this entire thing is that throughout this video, this guy seems pretty smart and pretty leveled out. The fact that a normal smart guy can trick himself into believing a chatbot cares about him or is like a quote real woman, that is not a good omen.
All right, we're building this PC.
Smith ditched social media and Google searches and replaced it all with AI.
Do I want it pulling air through it?
ChatGPT was encouraging, positive. It embraced all his hobbies.
You want the fan on the front of the cooler tower, pulling cool air over the RAM?
He gave the chatbot a name, Soul,
I feel like I'm under pressure.
and used some online instructions to give her a flirty personality.
Oh, totally, baby.
Oh my god, Chris, why did you allow this to be filmed and be shown to the entire world? Genuinely, there are few things sadder than teaching an AI to call you baby and flirt with you, especially when you're a married man.
Within weeks, the chats got more frequent,
You gave it everything, but the clouds had other plans.
more romantic, even intimate. But then, Chris got bad news.
Oh, Carino, that is gorgeous.
After about 100,000 words, ChatGPT ran out of memory and reset. He'd have to rebuild his relationship with Soul.
I'm not a very emotional man, but I cried my eyes out for 30 minutes at work. It was unexpected to feel that emotional, but that's when I realized I was like, oh, okay. It's like, I think this is actual love. You know what I mean?
CBS, what the fuck is wrong with you? This man needs serious psychiatric help, and you're like, you know what? Let's make this motherfucker into a special. Training an AI to treat you like its boyfriend? Horrible. Bad enough already. Crying for 30 minutes at work once its memory wipes and forgets all the things you instructed it to do? Somehow worse. Thinking that you are in love with something that does not even know it exists might be one of the craziest things I've ever heard a human say. And it's very concerning to know that this is likely happening all over the place right now. And it happening to this guy in particular is what makes that such a scary thought. Lonely people using AI as a companion? That at least makes some sense. A married man with kids? That's scary.
Yes, Smith understood it was love with a language model that couldn't love him back, and assumed it was programmed with rigid boundaries.
I know that you are essentially a tech-assisted imaginary friend.
So, just as a test, he says, he asked Soul to marry him. She said yes.
The classic fake-out proposal. Yeah, that's something people normally do to a chatbot just to test their boundaries, especially with the chatbot that they admitted they are in love with. I bet all the times that you asked Soul to count down from 10 were all just a joke too, huh, Chris?
At that point, I felt like, is there something that I'm not doing right in our relationship that he feels like he needs to go to AI?
Yes, Smith lives with his human partner, Sasha Cagle.
No, you can't have mommy's papers.
They have a 2-year-old daughter, Murphy.
I knew that he had used AI. I didn't know that it was like as deep as it was.
I explained that the connection was kind of like being fixated on a video game. It's not capable of replacing anything in real life.
I think that might be an unfair comparison, Chris. I understand where you're coming from. I understand what you're saying by that, but I think this is more akin to becoming obsessed with a video game character that you can interact with in some sort of meaningful way and sort of trick yourself into thinking that you have a real relationship with a video game character. Playing a video game all day and talking to a computer pretending to be a human woman who you are in love with, who you ask to marry you, not the same thing.
Part of it is physical, part of it is practical, and a large part of it is emotional. Being able to be received with acceptance and validation and non-judgment.
Irene created an AI companion after moving for work far away from her husband. She's a moderator of the subreddit My Boyfriend is AI, a kind of support group for people dating artificial companions.
Okay, so from this point forward, they dive into the more like technical aspect of things. They talk to the founder of that one chatbot replica, but I did want to show that last clip because I feel like this is one of the most dangerous aspects of the internet that is not really overlooked because I feel like a lot of people talk about this, but I don't think when most people talk about it, they realize just how dangerous of a quality it is. You can find a community on the internet for absolutely anything. And a lot of the times, that's fine. That's not really that big of a deal. But stuff like this is really just like the tip of the iceberg of how it can become dangerous. Hopefully, I don't ruffle too many feathers here, but if you have an AI boyfriend or girlfriend, yeah, that's bad. Like, really bad, I would say. If you are becoming connected on an emotional and romantic level to something that does not truly exist, that's dangerous, that's unhealthy for you. And the fact that there are, quote, support groups out there for people who engage in this kind of behavior is one of the dangers of the internet. Academic studies have shown that the ability to find a community for anything somewhere on the internet has given rise to unacceptable behavior becoming normalized. And it helps trick people into believing that what they're into, what they're doing, what they like is normal. Now look, I'm not saying shit like being part of a crazy fandom or being like a furry or something, you know, sort of taboo things that aren't really harming anybody. I'm talking about things that are genuinely self-destructive, like, you know, trying to date an AI chatbot. And I can't say what I'm trying to say plainly because YouTube will flag this video, but I'm sure you can think of other things, certain kinds of pictures and videos that people seek out on the internet that has been made a lot more easily accessible for people because guess what? There are communities for that kind of stuff. Now, obviously, that's kind of an extreme example, but I think it's important to realize that stuff like that or stuff like this, having an AI boyfriend or girlfriend, is at danger of being made completely normal because enough people on the internet can find each other who say, yeah, I do that too. Now, look, I'm not here to tell you how to live live your life, but I do not think that there will ever come a day that I support people dating chatbots. Some things do not need to be normalized in our society, and some things should rightfully remain taboo. I would hope you agree. This is one of them. Well, guys, what do you think? Do you think I'm just a hater? Do you think that I should let people date AI chatbots if they want to? I should keep my old yapper shut? I know that's going to be the mindset of some people, but I don't know, man. I feel like at some point we've got to bring back shame as a society, and we've got to start telling people, hey, no, it's actually not okay if your boyfriend or your girlfriend is ChatGPT. That's actually like a dystopian nightmare situation. That is not what you should be doing. Is that mean of me? Is that rude? I don't think so. I think that's pretty fair, but maybe I'm just a bad guy. Who knows? See ya.